Okay.
Set by the Roman Senate. That's the standard gauge.
And that's it. Into the Bensonville yard, which is way, way, way on the other side of Chicago that I came into. I was riding the CSX line.
The lawsuit that Abraham Lincoln won for the railroads, and then after that, Lincoln was their darling.
Have you read any Howard Zinn at all? More on Abraham Lincoln than what we should have been. But he made some hard decisions and ultimately got shot in the fucking head. So.
Yep, got people riled up.
Yeah,
that's
did.
for sure.
But he wasn't pro-black by any fucking means. He was just, you know, I think what happened is he saw like how fundamentally wrong it was to have a slave, or just even that word, you know what I mean? But he was not pro-black at all.
He was pro-homesteading, and
thank God for fucking that.
And the Morrill Act of 1862, homesteading and land grant school funding for the western states.
And he was a Republican. What do you think about that?
Well, the first, basically,
yeah.
Because it was formed in opposition to the economic stranglehold that was on the country, north as sharecroppers and south as slaves.
Who was the last Whig president, I wonder? Because there were several.
So they're finally doing something good at the White House. They're growing a garden there.
Well, thank God for that.
First time in 60
actually
years.
voted for fucking Barack Obama. Can you believe that? I did, in Bend, Oregon.
Well, I like his renewable energy policies. I don't like trying to conquer Afghanistan.
He has not done a single thing that he said he was going to do.
Well, he's aimed at it.
He did, and then he got shot down, but I'm pretty sure he wants to shut down Guantanamo Bay. But, I mean, he's really, like, you know what, he's actually expanded the Patriot Act.
And the bailouts are continuing of the CEOs and the Wall Street ripoffs are continuing. So he can't stop the momentum that was built up in the past administration.
You can't. And they did say, you know, I wish that I could do more. You know, he was like hamstrung by the limitations of office. You know, and shit. I knew a city councilman. Now, granted, it was just a city councilman in a small little town in Oregon, and he was way fucking liberal, but he got elected, you know, and to be this part of the ward, you know, and he said, your learning curve just on that is 6 months. That's just your curve, you know, before you can actually even start to do it. And by then, you're already corrupted, you know. Well, these guys play tackle or something? We got themselves a little football team. Oh, they're playing flag football.
The flag, yeah. They're just getting a little rough with it, I think.
Yeah, well, cool. God bless their hearts. People ask me if I served my country. I'm like, well, hell yeah, I played high school football.
Yeah, that's right.
And they get all pissed off.
Yeah, that was a real good interlude. I always do stuff like that in filming. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, great.
And then it's a mix.
So that green light means it's on, huh?
Record.
Oh, great.
Not for now. Whole union?
One of the first unions in the United States were Civil War vets coming back from the war with nothing to do, and they ended up forming their own union called the Tourist Union, and I believe it was like the Tourist Union number 63 or something like that. And they were all pretty much Civil War guys riding the trains. And the town of Britt, Iowa, which was way different than it is today, you know, with the National Hobo Gathering and stuff. I've seen actually a lot of stuff put up that said like, avoid the National Bum Gathering, because it's really hard to ride a train into Britt, and I don't think you can. Maybe it runs like 3 times a week or something, but the whole point of it is nobody really rides a freight train into the Hobo Gathering, which is kind of weird. It's a Hobo Gathering, yet you can't take a freight train to it.
Can't they organize a special freight train or a special bus just for hobos to bring them in from other points?
They might even do something like that. like a bus maybe.
It'd be hobo public transit.
Oh, it would be great. There's a parade and everything, but nobody really rides trains there. You know what I mean? And far be it for me to say anything about
Probably
other
used to
modes
be,
of
and it's not
transportation.
anymore or something.
Yeah, oh, way used to be. Like Britt was like a train fucking town. You know what I mean? Like it was a big train
Crossroads of the nation.
town. It was like
of the
lacrosse,
northern.
just a big train yard, and everybody could go hang out and everything. And there was a sheriff there named Whetstone, I think, back in the day, and he kept all the hobos in line. And he was firm but fair, one of those type of guys. If you weren't cutting up too bad, but that was like in the '70s, man. It would have been cool to run into guys like that, but it was a little before my time. Man, this shit's only $4 a 6-pack.
So after my first year of college, other plans dropped, and I bought a ticket to the first stop past Minneapolis on the railroad,
What was it?
on the Amtrak.
Going west?
Yeah, and then rode it all the way to Seattle, the rest of the way free.
Did you,
And
so Fargo would probably be your next stop, huh?
Well, there's other stops.
But you just bought the first one?
Right, the first stop past Minneapolis. So
So you
when I
were
got on at
stowaway.
Lacrosse, through the next major stop, I had a valid ticket.
Yeah.
But beyond that, too. And so
Yeah.
I didn't have to get off there.
So you just kept
And
riding
then,
all the way to Seattle?
then I rode the rest of the way to Seattle, and
Good.
I rode 4 times that way. The first stop past Pasco when I came back from Seattle,
Pasco's big train yard.
and then the first stop past that, then I rode the rest of the way free. So that worked pretty good.
Fucking A.
And I'd get to know the conductors when they'd come on a different shift,
Yeah.
and I'd get to know them right away and start talking to them before they did the search for tickets and such. And then I'd hang out in the dome car, the smoking car,
Yeah.
or talk to people. One time they're coming from both ends instead of just one end to check for tickets.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck in the middle, and I had talked to this couple, and I'm looking for a spot, and they all of a sudden get up and say, "Could you watch your child for a minute? We're going to the restaurant car." And so I sat back down with their child,
Yeah.
and he comes up and puts his hand on my shoulder. "Sir," and I get all nervous, and he goes, "We'll have those extra seats for you after the next stop." Thinking I'm the father of the child,
Yeah.
And anyway, other than that, I rode 4 times, no problem, just blending in.
Okay.
Then hitchhiked to Alaska, got a ride in Whitehorse with these.
I've always heard about Whitehorse. It's in the Yukon there. It's like your last major town before you go through anywhere.
Used to be connected by the railroad to Skagway, the narrow gauge railroad in the
Yeah.
mining time, and so it still had a connection to the world. So it was a major.
And Skagway is the one stop on the ferry where you can, or it's Haines or Skagway, one or the other, where you
they're
can
both-
actually hitchhike to Anchorage and get on the Alcan
Haines.
and all that. Haines is where you got to go.
Yeah,
All right.
Skagway would be there is a road now to Skagway also, but it would be a whole other thing. You'd be going through a whole half of another continent up through.
Yeah. But I know in Ketchikan, like once you're there, you're there. Like either you're taking the ferry off that or you're taking a plane.
So Senator Murkowski in Alaska, the daughter of the former governor and senator, has 33 acres of land on the other side in Ketchikan of the bridge to nowhere.
Yeah, right.
One of the 2 bridges to nowhere. The Don Young Bridge outside of Anchorage, same thing. He's got land, or his son-in-law does.
And they're building a bridge, but it's not going anywhere.
It was a big political moment in this last election. It's not going to get built. It's ridiculous. The Roman Senate.
Oh, really?
With between 2 horses.
Yes, it is. 4 feet 8 inches or some shit like that. See it there on the bottom? I'm on an identical pitch to that on the opposite side of that box.
And you tie it right on the waist.
Yeah, I tied it on my waist. And then I untied it to get this footage. I had to stand and creep over a little bit. And this is coming in.
So you risked your life for YouTube.
Yeah. Well, no, I like freight trains. Lack of a better idea, And that is hanging over, watching the tire, or the wheel. And I was coming through Lacrosse, Wisconsin this year.